everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Amy. Today I'm going to show you just a real simple round brush design. I'm using a 0, a 2, and a 4 Amagic round brush. I will put the links down below. Well, actually I'm using the number 6 as well. I forgot I was using that for the leaves. I will put the links down below as affiliate links you're welcome to purchase through. I am using a fine liner by Westonia, along with a number 10 Deerfoot stippler. Paints I use are all FolkArt paints. I'm using 14 karat gold, wicker white, French blue, periwinkle. This bottle, I don't know why I have ink spot, but it's so hard to get out of the bottle. It's got a really thick consistency. Thicket and fresh foliage. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. On this one I am going to begin with doing my Deerfoot stippler into the 14 karat gold. This is going to be the center of the flowers, and we're going to start over here. I'm just going to do 3, keeping it simple, and down here. Alright, just little dots, not a big deal. Oh, and I also am using a dotting stylus. Sorry about that. Got to add that to my list. Alright, so then I'm going to take the number 4 round brush. I'm going to go into the darker color, which is the ink spot, and just get it coated well. So it just has a different consistency to it. It's very gunky feeling. And now I'm going to push it down very light. Push it down. I had to go back and add some more, but I want my petals, I definitely don't want them all the same length. If you find that it didn't cover well like this one did, I'm just going to go right back over it as I'm painting. I can bring one out further, because I definitely on this design do not wish for them to be the same length. If you're new to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell prior to leaving. Also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to place those down below. I'm just filling it in because it kept wanting to separate a little bit. Alright, then I'm just going to push down and pull towards the center, push down and pull towards the center, and just leaving a space in between is fine. And you'll see why. And I'm not going to do it to where I have, that one's a little close, have, oh no, I forgot what I was going to say. You know, where I have all the petals, you know, just kind of rotating lengths. So one's short, one's long, one's short, one's long. That's not my intention here. This is a bottle that I paint on all the time for videos. So I'm mainly concerned with just showing you how to do the design, and then I wipe it off because I'm not actually selling it. So that's why, you know, a lot of times I'm not too worried about how thick the paint is. I'm just merely showing you the design. Again, I can go either way with this one. I'm trying to fill it in. So it just has a real gloppy, and it's not old either. You know, sometimes paint will be funny when it's old, but this is the way it behaves no matter how old the paint is. So I'm not sure. I mean, there are products that you can thin it if you can find them, like the Flow Medium, the Clear Medium, but those aren't easy to come by for whatever reason. And we'll just go like this. I mean, you could make your petals even, you know, if you wanted it to be like the flower is pointing a certain direction by arranging your flower petals a certain way, that can actually make it like they're heading in different directions, if that makes sense. Like shorter ones can make it seem like that's the bottom of the flower. I'm gonna make that one a little longer. All right. Next thing I'm gonna do is pick up the number 2 round brush, and I'm gonna go into this is a different French blue. I was gonna say French blue, but I wasn't sure. All right. So here you go. We're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna keep. Now on this, I am going to go in between, and I can go over them, but I am intentionally trying to go in between these as much as possible and continue painting. Oops. I'm sorry. And see, you know, these are just very simple designs. Anybody can do these. And just know that just get a paintbrush out and do it. You know, this design, honestly, you could do with a flat brush, as I've mentioned the other day in my video. I use flat brushes, or have used flat brushes, just actually that was my main brush to use until I started doing these videos, and then I just started experimenting with some other brushes more. Not that I never used another brush, but I'm finding that, you know, some of these other brushes are fun, a lot of fun to paint with. And so there you have it. Now, you could just leave it like this if you wanted to, but I'm going to go in with the 0 brush, and I'm going to go in with the Peridot. And I'm, once again, just covering it really well. I'm not putting it into any other color. I'm just doing it just like this. Okay, so on this one, I'm just going to eyeball it. Now that was kind of hard because it's full of paint. And I'm just going to, not any particular order, I'm just going to come through and add this as I go. These are going to be pretty much shorter petals, and you could make them longer if you wanted to, but I'm just sticking with kind of keeping them shorter, not coming out too far from the flower. And you don't have to be, you know, like any specific order. It just doesn't have to be that way. Meaning, like I was doing in between the first layer, this one I'm just putting it wherever I'm finding space for them. It just keeps it, kind of fills it in a little bit more. And I can come over here, a little bit of a space in between. And it's just fun, just a fun little flower to paint. Alright, we're getting the floral part done. And it's okay if you're picking up other colors as you go with it. It's not a problem. And on this one you can put, you don't have to leave spaces in between. You can put them closer together, however you want. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is take my fine liner, stick it into my greens. So that would be the thicket, the fresh foliage. I could even do a little bit into the white or a little bit into the gold, but I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to bring my stem out. As you know, if you follow me, you know that I like my stems to be curvy. And I do go over them just to make sure that they are full of paint, even though the lines might be thin. I don't want them scratching off simply because, you know, they're too thin as far as the thickness of paint, not the size of the stem. And if you want to put more size, you can. You can always use a flat brush to do this with as well. They make good stems too. Then I'm going to pull out from these just little pieces. Again, doing the same thing. And I think from here I'm going to pull out, it doesn't have to actually be coming from the stem itself when you pull a piece out like this. It can come from the flower itself. And if you want, you can actually, make more than one little piece. You don't have to be just one single. So then on this, I'm going to use my fine liner. And I'm just going to start just simply pulling in these little pieces that are going towards the stem. And I am varying their sizes. I can stick it into the white, which I'm doing a little bit of. Some come out far, some come out closer to the stem. And just they can cross over each other. They don't have to be totally separated. And I know with the green bottle it can be hard sometimes to see on this. I get it. And then I like to bring another color in. Just, I don't know. When you do different colors, I think it helps to just kind of see it and gives it a little bit more interest. Make sure I'm on the video. And I could do that one too. I'm just kind of spacing them out. Like I said, you can make them thicker if you want. You can go back in and go over them. That's fine too. I'm just doing just like this, not a biggie. I can come out here a little more if I want it to look like it's branching off. You can do little shorter pulls if you want. I just like them to be very loose and different sizes. I hope you like this video as I'm doing it. Moreover, I hope you take some time to try it. Alright, so I have that, and I'm going to take my number 6 flat brush, or round brush, excuse me, and just kind of stick it in some other paint. We can do this, and then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do, it's basically a 2-layer leaf. Just curve it a little bit, and then I can do it where it goes an opposite curve, or they can go together, either way. And let's do it again, and then we'll come this way like that. Let's stick in some white. We'll do it over here. And if you think you want to add more of the darker color to it, go right ahead. I'm not going to do a ton of these. Yeah, I shouldn't say that because I normally do a ton of them. But you can actually even put them into this area here where I just painted these little pieces, and that's fine. You can do that. Just a different kind of a leaf. Very simple. Very simple. All right. So then what I'm going to do is, of course, take my fine liner, go into my greens again. Here you saw how I loaded them. And then I'm just going to, again, these are just supposed to be single leaves. And so I'm just putting in a stem. You don't even have to do this part if you don't want. If you feel like it's not necessary, go for it, because you don't have to. All right, just very quickly. Oh, what did I do with my dotting stylus? Okay, so then I'm going to go in with my dotting stylus. Just see how, I mean, it's just gunky. Look at that. Most of the paint doesn't have that kind of a thickness to it. All right, and I'm going to come in here, try to make dots. Guess just the color's not behaving nicely, but I like the color. All right, so I'm going to go around the center. Maybe a little tricky with this particular paint, but we'll get it done. And I'm going to put one more right here. And I just like a little bit of the darkness there. And then we'll do it over here. Yep, that's too much of one. A little bit of a lot of paint right here, so have to keep that in mind as well. Then what I'm going to do is just turn the stylus the opposite side. It's one thing nice, it has two different sides. And then I'm just going to come back in here to finish it off and put white dots in here, which do stand out a little bit more, or a lot more, to complete this. Alright, and then I'll come down here and do that. I just thought of one thing I forgot to do, but that's okay. I'm not going to do it now. You can always go back over the center if you want to add more paint to it. You know, that's fine. I'm not going to do it now that I started painting the dots. I forgot. Didn't do it in the right order. And I don't care if The centers are perfect as far as, I think that should have a dot in between there, maybe. Oops, I just did it on top of it. Dagnabbit. Oh well. Thought I had more control over my hand than I did. So that paint is crazy. And then I'll put it on the white. Like I said, this paint is hard to control. I did it again. Well, you get the gist, right? It just doesn't want to work. Oh well. I would keep fussing with it if I were selling this, obviously. But I'm not going to keep messing with it now. Alright, we're just leaving it alone. I'm not going to keep messing with it. Anyways, alright, here you have it. Just a cute little design. Simple, minimal amount of paint. Anyone can do it. If you like this video, please make sure you give me a big thumbs up. New to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And prior to leaving, if you would take a moment to share this on your social network with your family and friends, just hit that button underneath that will allow you to share it, and you're good to go. Alright, thanks so much for taking time to view my video. Please stay a while and check out some of my other ones. And until the next time, please stay safe and healthy, and you have a good one.